Time to jump on this keto bandwagon. Tony here from HRVfitness, guys. That's right, ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. Yeah, it's good. I'll give you a bit of background on it. I played around with it for a little bit, about 12 months ago. I had some of my personal trainers at HRVfitness were utilizing it with some of their clients and had really good results. So I'm like, oh, cool, this would be a good option for me to try it and see if I can, drop some weight and get a bit of get some benefit out of it. Problem I found was I was trying to do everything at once. Okay, so what I was trying to do was train for a sport. I was trying to keep my strength, and then trying to drop weight at the same time, and I couldn't do it. I end up falling in a hole. I get sick of it. I get fatigued. I get run down, and then I'd always go back to my old ways. So the problems I've had with diets in the past, I've tried high carb diets and counting calories and 2,500 calories, 3,500 calories, 1,800 calories, and being as you get older. Now that I'm in my 40s. The last thing I want to do is prep fucking food. It drives me nuts. So, that's part of the reason I sort of fall off a lot of meal plans and all that sort of stuff. So I started trying a bit of keto in December. Now, admittedly, my December's been horrible. I've had birthdays, weddings. We went on a holiday, went to Bali for a week, came back, had Christmas party after Christmas party, then had Christmas and then had New Year's. So, I've actually had a pretty shitty run at it, but saying that, I still managed to drop about 3 kilos. So I started at about 101, as you can tell. And so now I'm down, sitting around about 98, 97. I actually got down to 96.9. 96.9, yeah. So I floated around there for a little bit, and then, we've had some Christmas and New Year's, all that sort of stuff. So the thing is, even though I've had blowout days, what I tend to do the next day is on the following day after a big meal or a few drinks or whatever it is, I just get straight back on it. All right, so not so much even the ketogenic diet, but I'm still practicing the intermittent fasting. So the good thing about intermittent fasting is it has so many benefits. I mean, there's a bunch of research and stuff that's gone into intermittent fasting. And it just depends what your goal is. So my goal is I want to try and get down to about 90 kilos. Like I said, I'm sitting about 100 kilos at the moment. And I just feel too heavy to do what I do. Like sports and all that sort of stuff. I'm just feeling a bit big. And when I used to compete in BMX, when I was racing sort of semi-professional, whatever it was, I was sitting around about 89 kilos. So I actually prefer to be about that. And the whole reason I ended up at 100 was I got to about 94 and I was cutting weight for powerlifting contests. I was getting back down to 89 for powerlifting contests, and then I was just losing too much strength, so I said, oh, stuff it. So I went the other way. So I was at the top of the weight class rather than the bottom of the weight class. So I just went back up to 100, and then it made it easy. I sat at 99 all the time, and I didn't have to cut weight for competitions, and so I could hit these comps at my strongest. So that was the whole reason I went to 100. And now the problem is to get back down is just a pain in the ass. So that's the thing. So, I mean, look, the thing with food these days is too that we're so programmed to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think we just eat too much food. We're not as active as we used to. You think about most people's day-to-day as they get up in the morning, they sit in a car for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, drive to work, sit in the office all day, sit on their ass all day, get up, get back in the car, drive home, get home, sit on the couch, eat dinner, and you're just not moving around as much. So you just don't need that much food, you know what I mean? I know myself, like I just don't train with the same intensity I used to, so I just don't burn the calories. So this is why I find this diet really, really good diet. I don't really call it a diet, but it's just the way I eat now. Okay, so I intermittent fast. So what that is pretty much I finish eating by about 8 o'clock at night. And then I won't eat again till lunchtime, so 12 p.m. So that's about a 16-hour fast. And then I'll try and have 2 meals. So lunch I'll have eggs and bacon, which is horrible. So Yeah, either eggs or bacon. I've been having salmon lately as well, which is really good. So I might even do some bacon with my salmon. And then I'll do a bowl of broccoli with it as well, which sounds delicious, doesn't it? Yeah, but it's actually not that bad. The good thing about fasts is when you do come off them, everything you eat tastes amazing. So when you're hungry and you're starving because you haven't eaten for 16 hours, everything tastes really, really good. Try and cut down on the sauces. I try and just have more salt, pepper. I might do a little bit of sauce, barbecue or whatever, but I'm not too fussed about it. Yeah, that's it. And then my second meal, I'll mix it up. I might do some pork. I might do some Scotch fillet. But I want to keep my cuts of meat pretty fatty. You know what I mean? I don't have chicken, as chicken's really high in protein and not a lot of fat. And then you might end up sort of bumping yourself out of ketosis because your body will start processing the protein as energy rather than fats as energy. So that's the whole idea with ketosis, is you're trying to minimize your carbohydrates and get your body better at using fat for energy. So that's the whole idea of it. The thing with like I said, the thing with you is you got to figure out what's good for you and what works for you. So intermittent fasting and the keto thing I think is working really good. Figure out what your goal is. All right, if your goal is to lose weight, this might work really well for you. If your goal is to put on size and build strength, you're probably better off with more carbohydrate in your diet. Okay, this sort of thing is not that great for athletes. So most of the guys I train, most of the athletes I train, I'll just keep them on a clean diet with carbohydrates, protein, fats, bit of everything, and just try and keep down on the sugars. The thing with the intermittent fasting too is you can actually do this and eat shit and still lose weight, which is pretty funny. You probably won't drop as much as you would on the keto, but you'll still drop weight. So that's probably the good thing about it. One of the good things about it, and like I'm sort of a testament to it, is like I said, December was pretty ordinary, but I still managed to drop 3 kilos. So, and then that was just eating and drinking whatever I want. I really wasn't paying much attention to the food when I wasn't paying attention to the food, if you know what I mean. So once I was back on it the next day and fasting, and then I'd have my fats and all that sort of stuff, I'd get back on it. But I get to the weekend and shit would just blow up. So yeah, that's it. Other things to remember too, when you're on the fast, you want to try and train in the mornings. Yeah, so train on an empty stomach, get your body firing and burning those fats as energy. The good thing about fasting too is it can increase your growth hormone. Yeah, so if you're a bit worried about intermittent fasting and cutting your carbs and then losing size, the good thing about intermittent fasting is it increases hormones in both your growth hormone in both male and female. It's just pretty good. So the other thing too with high-fat diets is you'll find that you don't get as hungry, which is pretty cool. So you can eat less food and you'll probably stay fuller for a lot longer, which is really good. The other thing I found with high-fat diets too is it reduces inflammation. So I do jiu-jitsu twice a week, and because my wrists are a bit shitty from racing and breaking wrists and stuff and all that about 15 years ago, sometimes at night I get to bed and my wrist will be really sore and I just have to take some anti-inflammatories of some kind just so I can sleep. And I found with a high-fat diet, it actually really helped. So if you do suffer from inflammation and swelling and stuff like that, you might find the high-fat diet's really, really good for you. So for beginners who are looking to get onto it, what I suggest is for at least a week, just try the keto. So just cut your carbohydrates out. So no rice, no bread, pasta, potato, all that sort of shit. And then just stick to high-fat foods. So eggs, bacon, fatty cuts of meat, pork, steak. And as well as that, you want to try and get in about 6 to 7 bowls of 6 to 7 cups of veggies or salad, or veggies and salad. So every meal, just try and chuck some salad in there, and I just cut a couple of head of broccoli or whatever. I just chop it up, chuck it in the microwave, in a bowl of water or something. Bing, 5 minutes, done. Yeah. So the goal is you want to get to 2 meals a day. So you have lunch. And then, like I said, a high fat, you should be fine. If I get a bit peckish, I'll have some peanut butter or something along those lines. I just get some natural peanut butter, which is just pretty much peanuts. And so I just jump on that. And then that's it, man. That's it. You're firing away. But the keto stuff's very, very popular at the moment because it works. It's really good, man. You'll drop weight fast and it's pretty easy. So give it a go. If you're after some more information, dude, there's so much stuff out there. Get on YouTube, have a look around, and the benefits are really, really good. And like I said, I just find it really, really easy to drop weight on the keto and intermittent fasting diet. Stay tuned, guys. Hit the little subscribe button, hit the little alerts thing, and then, yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.